Hey, it's Wednesday, time for another Action Figure Adventures video here on SEO Toy Review. Today, Baby Skeletor and I are taking a look at two G.I. Joe Collectors Club exclusive action figures. We've got the Cobra Shock Troops Commander, Lieutenant Claymore, and the Mobile Missile Specialist, Fast Draw. Pause it here to read Claymore's bio, and here for Fast Draw. Today we've got two more figures from the G.I. Joe subscription service 8. We've got Lieutenant Claymore. He's the Cobra Shock Trooper character. I believe he is a recreation, a modern recreation of an O-ring figure that the club released as one of their exclusives many years ago at the con. And then, of course, we've got the fan favorite Fast Draw, the G.I. Joe Mobile Missile Specialist. He's a classic G.I. Joe figure, a little bit more on the goofy side, very fantasy, sci-fi. Execution here, not perfect. They're really reusing a lot of blowtorch to make this guy, and it's kind of obvious when you look at him with that helmet and everything. I get it, but I don't know. I'm going to reserve final judgment for when we get them out of the package. So let's dig into these guys and take a closer look. We've got these two figures out of the package. Time to take a closer look. We're going to start with Lieutenant Claymore. Lieutenant Claymore is a one-off character created by the G.I. Joe Collectors Club for one of their convention-exclusive sets. He's the leader of some shock troopers that were, again, army builders from a club set. It's a pretty decent-looking figure. You know, I love Cobra army builders, but at the club price, army builders to me are pretty terrible because you can't afford to get more than one. So in a way, I'm kind of glad we get an officer from them, not a trooper. The original figure, I believe, used the head from totally blanking here. It's Street Fighter guy, not M. Bison, but Balrog. There we go, Balrog. So you can see he's got that same kind of hairstyle as Balrog. It looks like the hair is just painted on a bald head, which I guess is a good way of doing that without having to sculpt a head with that hair. The helmet fits on nice and tight and has a interesting Cobra logo there with the knife going through it. He's got lots of good web gear. I actually really like the parts they chose for this character. He looks awesome. He's got shoulder pads. He's got some body armor on. All the crossed web gear and everything. Blue pants and nice tall black boots down there. He looks really good in my opinion. So he has the removable helmet. He has a backpack. This is the 25th anniversary Zap backpack and short fuse backpack that has the removable missiles, which are pretty cool. Those obviously go along with his bazooka here. Interesting that he's got painted accessories. This is very rare for the Collectors Club, and of course they used it on their special character. This bazooka also breaks apart to make it easier to transport, but he also comes with this gun, which again has a paint app to it, which is really nice looking. But again, it's interesting they picked their club-only character to get paint apps on its accessories when pretty much no one else gets them. I hate this gun, though, by the way. It is really hard to put this handle in a figure's hand with this clip. Also, Claymore comes with a stand with his name on it. Back to the figure, though. He's got a ball joint at the head, which is great for, you know, looking up and down, looking around. His web gear moves out of the way pretty easy, so that doesn't become a real problem there. He's got good G.I. Joe shoulder joints. He's got elbow joints. He's got a swivel at the wrist. And he also has a rocker there. So he has great range of motion there at his arms. That's really nice. He's got excellent G.I. Joe hips. He's got double jointed knees. And he's got ankle articulation there, which is really nice. There's two more accessories that I'd missed earlier. He's got a removable knife from the sheath on his leg. It has a painted blade, which is great, and he also has this blue pistol that fits on the other leg. The blue pistol's a little goofy color-wise, but I guess we can't complain. Really, a lot of nice accessories, good paint apps. He's got another tampo there that matches his helmet. So even though Claymore's not really a character I care about so much, it's a pretty nice figure. I really can't complain at all about this guy. And he's a pretty good figure for the club to release. Next up, we got Fast Draw, and Fast Draw is a goofy character to start with, and you knew that the club was going to give us kind of a goofy update to him. I think considering that they had to reuse parts, this is not a bad figure, but it's not exactly what I wanted. He just looks a little too much like Blowtorch, unfortunately, to look like Fast Draw. You know, that these reused parts, the helmet and the chest pad and everything, and the face mask, they're just too recognizable. I do like this missile system. I would have preferred it being under his arms and just having single missiles like the old vintage one. But these articulated arms are kind of cool. It's neat that he's got 4 smaller missiles instead of just 2 enormous missiles. But it is definitely cumbersome looking. It pulls him over pretty easy. I don't know how that would work out so well. But he's got these missile launchers. Each missile is removable, which is pretty cool. He's got the little white controllers that he uses to guide the missiles based on the original figures. This is actually like a vaccine gun or something that came with Doc, I think, that they gave him. There is no cord that attaches it to his harness like the original ones. But, you know, again, they're reusing a part here. His backpack just pegs in on the back there. It all comes apart pretty easy. It's very modular. These can unpeg. These can unpeg. So you can definitely rearrange. I didn't like the way the cords were. Actually, I've got my cords set 2 different ways. I got one cord that goes this way and one cord that goes that way. Whoops, one cord that goes this way and one cord that goes that way. Because I was trying to figure out how they kind of worked best to not kink and everything like that. Anyway, he also has one pistol here holstered to his hip. He's got some cool boot pieces. There's like extra armor here on his legs that clip on. That look really good. I like that extra armor bit to him. And of course he has the stand with his name on it. I do miss the visor. This looks okay for approximating it. He's got the blue hose, he's got the silver visor, he's got the red mask. But this mask that just kind of comes off like a fighter pilot, or maybe a flamethrower trooper, is not as cool as the flip-up mask that the original guy had. And he's just got a wrapped head underneath, a little cotton mask or whatever. So this is definitely not as cool as the flip-up visor. But again, like I said, they're trying to reuse parts and just make it work. It's not a bad attempt. It's not perfect, though. Let me get rid of this helmet for a second so we can take a look at his articulation. His head moves pretty well, although the tall collar does get in the way of that a little bit there, the articulation. He's got good shoulder movement. Again, though, his armor does hit the other section of armor there, so it's not perfect in every direction. He's got elbow joints. He's got wrist swivels. He does not have rocker joints at his elbows, rocker joints at his wrists. I don't know why I can't do this today. He's got a swivel at the waist there, and this armor plating does not get in the way of that at all. I love the little fire extinguisher on the back. Doesn't make quite as much sense for Fast Draw as it does for Blowtorch, but still a cool detail anyway. He's got the armor plating on his legs. Nice double jointed knees. He has ankle articulation. Of course, like I said, this kind of gets in the way. There's also this little wire piece on the back that looks really cool. But all in all, I think he's a pretty decent figure. I would love to see somebody put out a third-party helmet for him that had the flip-up visor. I think that would really fix him. I think that's my biggest complaint. I think you could probably modify a vintage backpack if you really wanted it to be the old-style backpack. But I think, to me, the helmet is the biggest drawback here. As a little bit of a recap here, Lieutenant Claymore is the better action figure. I think Fast Draw is the more interesting character. I definitely was more interested in Fast Draw than Claymore. If I could only order one figure from this batch, I would have ordered Fast Draw. But the execution-wise, Claymore is a little bit better. Not a bad set. Neither one of them blow it out of the park. Because I don't care about Claymore's character that much, and Fast Draw's execution's not quite as good. But I'm still pretty happy with both of these figures. They're both decent. Like I said, if I could get a third-party helmet for Fast Draw, I think I'd be pretty happy with him. And so let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. We're running out of Figure Subscription 8 characters. We'll be close to halfway through this soon. And I did not order all of the final 12, so there will not be too many more modern figures being reviewed that are brand new. I do have some modern G.I. Joe figures in stock that are not quite so modern anymore. They've been sitting on my shelf in packages for a while. But if you guys are interested, I will definitely consider reviewing them. Let me know about that in the comments down below also. Thanks for watching this Action Figure Adventures video. Do Baby Skeletor a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.